Very, very proud of our football team Saturday. It was a great team win. It was a great team win. Very difficult place to play. Very proud of their focus, their mental toughness for 4 quarters. It took us about a quarter and a half to kind of get adjusted to the flow of the game, but once we did, we played some of our best football. Very proud of them. And now we're on to the next tough challenge in our conference. It's a very difficult league, and we're looking forward to the challenge, though, getting ready to play an undefeated football team at home at 2:30, and really excited to be back at TDECU in front of our home crowd again. It's been 27 days, I believe, or 23 days since we last played here, so our guys are chomping at the bit to get back on the field and get back in front of their home crowd, and just excited to go.
Major, the last 2 days, Austin has gotten National Player of the Week, and today American Co-Defensive. When you look back, and I don't know how much you went back and looked at the film and just saw where he was and what he did in that game, can you put your mind wrap around 21 tackles and what that kind of performance means?
Well, it was a tremendous job of making the tackles that we're there to make. I'm not trying to take anything away from Austin because he has worked so hard. Let's talk about him. Plays quarterback coming out of high school, goes to UTSA, doesn't have an opportunity to play quarterback, transfers over, starts off as a safety, gets moved down to linebacker. We have injuries last year with Matt Adams. He has to come in and play probably before his full development. Finishes the season for us last year. Has a great offseason, graduates, an engineering degree, and then takes on a leadership role and did an outstanding job on Saturday. That's him. That's him. That's him, the person. That's who his parents have raised. He's just an outstanding young man, great representative for our football team. Not to take anything away from him, but in triple option, you should have a lot of tackles. But not everybody makes them. Not everybody makes the tackles. So for him to play the way he did, he was mentally prepared and physically prepared for 4 quarters, did a great job. And now what we've got to do as a defense is we've got to forget everything triple option and reprogram ourselves back into more traditional offenses that you see now in terms of spread offenses. So that's what everybody on our defense has to do, and proud of Austin and the way he played, and now we're on to the next challenge.
The last thing on him, I remember in Honolulu, a lot of the guys were saying goodbye to him like that. That was going to be it for him. There wasn't some certainty yet whether he was going to get that 6th year.
That's right.
It filled a big need that you had.
Absolutely.
Those guys.
Absolutely. So, that was a big part of what we needed to do with losing DeJuan and losing Matt Adams after last year and losing some experience inside at linebacker. We needed Austin to get his 6th year back. So we appreciate the NCAA for that. And then, we also needed to sign Darian Owens to give us some experience in there. And Darian will be back this week. Glad to have Darian back, give us some rotation, some depth. Terrence Williams is healthier. He was feeling good yesterday, so happy to have him back closer to 100%. Raylon Singleton did a great job. Went out there, caught a couple balls, but on Courtney's touchdown, you can see him just busting his tail to go down and create a block to get an explosive. So Raylon's back, Terrence is back, Darian's back. Kadarian will be back at corner. Isaiah will continue to monitor, but anticipate him being back. Ed's questionable right now for Saturday with a knee contusion, so we'll have to continue to monitor him day to day. But right now, it's kind of what you would imagine in terms of 8th week, 9th week of the season. Bumps and bruises, and there's some things that some guys are going to have to play through, and as coaches we've got to get creative with our depth charts and what we've got to do in some of these guys' absences.
What was Isaiah? We didn't get a chance to ask. What was Isaiah's injury, or what was holding him back?
His back. Yes, sir.
And on Ed, obviously we saw the play. Is there? I guess you pulled him out for one, and he said that it was kind of a precaution. But was there anything in practice yesterday, or just something that's kind of led to where you're at in terms of the evaluation process? Does it look like it's more? Or is it something you'll have to just kind of monitor? Or?
Yeah, just have to monitor it. We were in the same position with Isaiah last week. You just got to monitor it day to day. That's just where you are in the season, and you always work from the standpoint of we'll never have him. We'll never have Isaiah. We'll never have Derek, whoever that player is. Terrence Williams. We won't have him for Saturday. So you work your depth chart, and then as guys improve, you start implementing them into the game plan.
What do you need to see from Ed this week to know that he's good to go? I mean, obviously you monitor everybody, but are there specific things you look at to make sure that they're protected from themselves, but also if they're ready to go, they can help?
Yeah, I'd listen to the doctors, in terms of their expertise. They went to school for a bajillion years, so they know what they're talking about. I coach football, so I listen to the doctors and what they're telling me and how the young man is moving around, what his health status is.
You talked about the opportunity your team has, a ranked team
Yeah.
coming here. Big opportunity for you guys for what you're trying to do when it comes to conference championships and stuff like that. But the opportunity your team has this weekend.
Right. Never want to be ho-hum about it. It's a tremendous opportunity. This is 2:30 national television. It's an unranked team, one of the few unranked teams in the country. For us at the end, it's a conference game. We know we're playing a great football team that's well coached with great athletes, and it has, some notoriety throughout the country in terms of the national coverage it's going to get. But this is a conference game, and that is our job. That's our goal, is to win the West and put ourselves in an opportunity to play for a conference championship. But it is a day-to-day, drill-to-drill, practice-to-practice mentality in terms of going 1-0 on the week.
Major, just looking at USF, last year they had Quentin Flowers, new quarterback now, but it seems like also they've gotten some strong play out of the backfield with Cronkite and Ford this past week. What do you see from them in terms of, is it same style offense, just new pieces, or have they gone a little bit more to that running game side?
Yeah, they've had a different quarterback. The run game's got to come from different places. But both of the backs, Cronkite and Ford, are exceptional. They're both great players, and they run the ball really well. They can make people miss. They can run with power. They've got a host of wideouts outside that are explosive. All of them can do it. Every one of them can do it. McCants, because of his size and his just athleticism and desire, he can be a mismatch. So we've got to have a plan for McCants. Because he's a great player. He loves to play the game. But they have a lot of skill, a lot of speed. They have power between the tackles. But that's when I look at them this year, that the two backs are playing at a very high level. And the quarterback, he's comfortable. It's not his first time. You can tell he's very comfortable back there. He's made some tremendous throws. And their team in general, offense, defense, special teams, has found a way to win. And that's a sign of a championship team, is finding a way, regardless of how you're playing, finding a way to end up 1 point.
Along those lines, you've had the two conference games so far where, for the most part, the outcome late has pretty much been decided. But this is a team that has shown, I guess, USF that they've, I think 3 times they've come back in the fourth quarter. How much does that now put the emphasis on what you guys do defensively in the second half? Like you've had second team in there when they've scored those touchdowns, but it looks like you'll probably have, a little bit more of the first teamers in, later in the game this week.
Yeah, it's a conference game, and as you play conference opponents, I know they're on the other side of the league, but playing them the second year in a row, they know more about you, and you're seeing that as you get into conference play. You're going to see tighter games, and so you've got to be prepared mentally and physically to play 4 quarters. Keep a fine focus on what you need to focus on, and then the discipline, regardless of whether you're ahead, behind, tired, injured, to go finish the game.
I'm sure you've been asked this before already, Major, but last year this was kind of the game that De'Eric, you came in second half, the big 4th and 24, but us around here had known about De'Eric and had seen him, and it was just kind of a matter of time. But what do you just remember from, him coming into that game and it kind of being the start of taking over that position that he hasn't, let go since?
Just the feel of the locker room, halftime. He had been put in right there at the end of the second quarter. The confidence, the competitive confidence that our team felt by him taking snaps. Obviously, his playmaking ability, everything you see on the field, is what we thought he could do. But he had the opportunity to capture the team, and he did. He did. The tremendous effort he played with, the leadership skills, willing his team to win in the fourth quarter. He showed everything that you want your quarterback to have. And so what he's done from that point on is where all the credit goes. How hard he's worked, the time he's put in with Coach Briles, with his teammates, and continuing to strengthen his leadership role and strengthen the competitive muscle of our football team. He is a tough, fierce competitor, and you have to have that at quarterback, and he's done a great job of it.
Major, looking at what Stevenson, Lark, and Corbin have done, I know that was kind of a question coming into the year in terms of development in those the next wave of receivers, but they've produced, I think it's close to 100 receptions, 1,700 yards, and I believe 18 touchdowns. About as better than you expected, or can you say what they've done in terms of being able to take that role of being the next guys up?
They've done everything that we knew that they were capable of, and there's still more out there for them and for this football team in general. But they're every bit as explosive as we thought they could be. The thing that I'm proud about those three guys the most is obviously the catches and the touchdowns and the explosive plays. But this is brand new success. For all three of these guys, this is brand new success, and they're continuing to go out there on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and work as though it's their first day, and it's their first opportunity to make a play, and that's gonna serve them well for the long haul. And I'm just proud of the way they continue to go at it each and every day, and a lot of credit to those guys and their coach, Coach Guyton and Coach Browse, just continue to stay humble and hungry and ready for the next opportunity.
Is a mark of growing up with, like Corbin after the game said, look, I knew I had some drops, but they stuck with me. They went back to me. They didn't get down on some. Is that some of the development that you see when a guy can maybe not have
That's it.
the first half and then come back and deliver some really big plays in the second half?
Yes, sir. It's just belief. It's belief in people, and we believe in every one of the players in our meeting room, every single one of them. And we're all going to make mistakes, myself included. We're all going to make huge mistakes. But as long as you have the heart and the desire to come back for your team, to come back for your coworkers, hey, we're all part of this team. And so for Keith to be able to recognize that at halftime and come out and make the plays and play with that kind of heart and passion in the second half and want to do better, that's part of football. You're not going to play a perfect game for 4 quarters. You're going to make some mistakes in there, but how you bounce back from it, how hard you fight, and how hard you fight for your teammates is really what it's all about.